So we are rolling.
All
I
right.
think this is actually Rue's first video that she's ever been in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's not my dog. She's my roommate's dog, but we get along really well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
dude. So
he's
oh,
never been in a video either.
oh no, there you go. Everyone, that's Diesel. We got a dog play date going on right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about yourself. Like, what are some things that you really like to do? What are some things you care about?
Shoot. I mean, I like going on pretty long bike rides. Those are pretty fun. Like going on four wheelers. Those going up north,
Like quads.
hanging
All right,
out.
Rue.
Yeah.
Like quadding and stuff.
Hmm.
Dude, that's so much fun. I just did that for the first time this summer with some friends. We had like a bachelor party for one of my friends who was getting married. Just like tearing it up in the backyard. Just so much fun. You get so much speed on it, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Get off. Off now. Here, come on.
Yeah. I like couple wheelies on them too. They're so much
Do
fun.
you? Oh my god. Do you ever
Yeah.
like fall off ever? Have you ever hurt
Oh yeah,
yourself?
I've fallen off.
Dude,
I've fallen off
really?
before. One time I was all the way up and I slid off and I had to run back on and jump back onto it.
Oh my god. Or else it would have gone. What would have had like gone into a tree or something?
Well, no, it was a straightaway. I was fine. It was just taking off by itself though.
That's a blast. How do you like Michigan? Have you always lived there?
Yeah, I've always lived in Michigan. It's pretty decent, you know. Got all the seasons.
That's true. When I was in
Yeah.
Florida, I was in like Sarasota, and like the trees never changed color. It was kind of depressing. But it was also nice too. Like around this time, like it was so sunny. It was like 80 degrees on Christmas. It was like
Jeez.
I never had that before.
Yeah, no, just earlier, it was 18 degrees here.
18.
Yeah.
It's so cold here. I think I saw this morning. It was like so. I'm in Denver, right? Let's see what
Yeah.
temp. It's 23 right now, but it was like 3 degrees at like 8 a.m. today. It was
Jeez.
awful. It was really bad. But so, what brings you on to Omegle? You just hanging out?
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much just got up. I was on Omegle for 24 hours.
No way.
Yeah. And then it's 5 p.m. here. So
That's right.
I was like, oh, yeah, why not just hop back on?
Do you meet anyone interesting? Like, you have any good conversations?
Yeah. Usually I have pretty good conversations. Sometimes, like you said, there's a lot of Arab people on here. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
just,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, not too much.
Yeah.
Not
I've
too
had
much.
I've like talked to yeah, like I said, like a lot of Indian people. I think one thing that I found really interesting the other day, I was talking to two guys, and I was like, "What's something about India that like a lot of people from the West don't know anything about?" They were like,
Mm,
"Well, you know, we're always beaten up. Like, you know, the British beat us up." Like the Muslims beat us up. They were like Hindu, and they were like, "Well, like we're about ready to start getting revenge now. Like we want to get revenge." It's like I don't know. I mean, that's not like I've talked to many amazing, peaceful, peace loving like people from India too, but I was just taken aback by like how aggressive they were and stuff. I don't know. It's interesting. It's just
yeah,
people had a lot of pent up anger. I think everywhere. You know, people are just angry everywhere, and it gets
for
tiring.
sure.
You know.
Yeah, there's not enough love in the world.
No, dude, there is not enough love. You said it perfectly.
Yeah, yeah, you know the yin and yang.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Which one is it? Which one is the bad one? Because I know there's a. Is
Ah,
it the yin or the yang?
the well, there isn't like bad. I think where you're talking. I think that's a great question. I think to ask, but it's more like feminine and masculine energy. You know.
Okay.
Um, so the yang is female energy, and the yin is masculine energy.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and that there is like that one. Nothing is ever black or white. There's always
It's just
some some mixed into the other. You know, like,
pretty good flow. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, but except for like when COVID hit and like everything started going down, there's a lot more yang to everything.
Mm. Yeah. How was your? How did you handle COVID? What were you up to whenever it hit?
Honestly, I didn't like it wasn't a big thing to me. I didn't really wear the mask or anything. And then I went to boot camp. I'm 17 right now,
Mm.
and I just graduated high school at this boot camp.
Congratulations, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I got my diploma. I'm about to be going into trade school this Sunday.
No way. What are you doing? What are you doing for trade?
I'm gonna be going for electrician.
Dude, we are like severely understaffed for with electricians and like welders and stuff like that. Like you must be,
Yeah,
you guys are getting paid pretty well, right?
yeah. Supposed to be, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So how'd you get into that? Like what was it?
Uh, I kind of like during like high school and stuff like that. Like before I went to this program, I was like into this construction class, and I kind of just like wanted to try another thing. I was like, oh, electrician, it would be pretty cool. And then like I got my certifications for OSHA, which is like safety for
Mm-hmm.
construction. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I know a little bit about that. Now let me go learn a little bit about electricianing, you know,
Mm.
just to keep a little bit of something under my plate.
So like, how long is that process? Like, is it a 2 year thing or?
No, I'm actually gonna be going to that for 5 months.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's quick. That's a quick turnover.
Yeah, it is pretty quick. Cause I'm gonna be getting out as an apprentice for 4 years, so
Yes.
it won't be too bad.
And then will you be able to like stay at home in the meantime, or are you gonna move out? You think? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, home's not that bad, so I'll probably just stay here.
Nice. Dude, hold on 1 second. Rue is like whining. She wants out of the room. We'll just be right back.
Um,
Oh boy. Yeah, I've been wondering about like. I mean, I have such a like a varied career. Like I am I'm a trained actor. I just graduated from grad school for that,
oh,
and
nice.
yeah, I really love writing and stuff. But I don't know. There's just so much stuff to do. There's so many interesting things to do with your time and your life. You know, it's like I hate to be tied down to anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I've heard that welding is pretty cool. Don't really know much about it, but
yeah. I know a couple people that like to weld. I've seen, I've seen people do some pretty cool stuff with welding. Yeah,
what?
there's actually this one job that you can do, and it's welding underwater.
No way!
I was like, no way. They get paid hella money though.
Oh my god, welding underwater?
Yes, like the pipes under the water and shit. I
That
was
makes
like,
sense.
damn.
Did you wonder how those like oil rigs are constructed like out in the middle of the ocean? Like they must
Yeah,
have underwater welders just like walking on the ocean floor like pounding stuff and like with the blowtorch.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean probably dangerous, but that's also kind of fun too. I don't know. I like that dangerous kind of
Yeah.
stuff. What would you rather do? Would you rather go bungee jumping off like a really tall bridge or skydive?
Shoot, that's actually kind of hard. I mean, I'd probably skydive. You'd be able to see a lot more of the world, you know.
Hmm. Dude, getting up there like during like sunset, that's what I've been wanting to do that for a long time.
Yeah,
Bungee jumping, like you fall and then like you feel your heart like in
it's
your
kind of
mouth, and then you jump back up and you're like dangling. Oh god, could not do that.
yeah. Yeah, skydiving would be a lot better actually. It'd be
Yeah,
a bigger experience because bungee jumping, you're just hanging off of a cord, like you said,
just
about
think,
ready to.
dude, that terrifies me too. Like, what if the cord like snaps and that's just like a nightmare.
Oh my
Jesus, I
god.
don't even know what made me think of that, but I think scary things, doing something scary.
Well, it's because like most people, they tend to look at the negative side to everything. That's why our world is kind of messed up right now, because a lot of people they'll look at the negative side, like COVID. A lot of people were like, "Well, everyone's just gonna keep on dying, everyone's just keep on getting sick. I can't go see my grandma."
Mm.
Like you gotta look at the positive side. At least you can still FaceTime her. At least we still have technology.
Yeah, now like it's this is the best time that we could have had a pandemic because we can do like we can still like do classes. We can still see people that we like without feeling like we're gonna get sick too or get them sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. How did you handle like the? Well, you said that it didn't really affect you very much. Like, did you have online schooling? I guess.
Uh, I went to school for a little bit. The masks were so annoying, and then I think a couple people started getting COVID, so they did online schooling. Yeah.
So. Like, what's your opinion of the mask thing? I guess it's. Yeah. What are your thoughts of it?
Well, I mean, I guess I can't say too much about it. Like, props for people that want to be safe and not get COVID, and like all the older people. Like, I wouldn't go around them,
Mm.
because I don't really like wearing masks. So I'll just be like chilling by myself, going to a grocery store or whatever, not really touching anything unless I want it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really too big on the mask thing.
You're like not you're not a fan of it, but you're also like trying to be as responsible as you can,
Yeah,
knowing that. Yeah.
yeah, especially after I got out of the program that I was in. It's called the Michigan Youth Challenge Academy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was on a base at Fort Custard. It was actually a really cool program. I was there for 5.5 months. Got to do my schooling, but I had to wear a mask 24/7.
Uh,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
for the National Guard. Whew,
Wow.
it's
Yeah,
like
dude. Yeah. Like, tell us about it. Like, what was that like?
shoot. I mean, drop off. It was them yelling at you, pretty much getting your bag, getting ready to leave. All you really had to wear was black t-shirts all day and shorts, and then like once it got closer to like wintertime and stuff like that, you had the sweatshirt and sweatpants, but you also had to wear your shorts and your black t-shirt. Yeah, it was kind of like all uniform. If you were out of uniform, you get PT'd, which is doing push-ups,
Yeah.
like 50 push-ups or something like
My
that.
God, dude. Would you have to do like miles of running too?
Yeah, usually we had our PT test like every, I think, weekend. Yeah, every weekend we would have a PT test, and we do a mile run, which was pretty good, I guess.
Yeah,
It
that's.
got way worse during when it was colder.
Oh my God. So did you want to
Yeah.
do National Guard or like what's?
Oh no, this program was just like to help kids. Like there were some kids that just went there for diploma, and then a couple kids there went there from juvie. It's basically just to like push you further in life, so you're not just like sitting around. I
Yeah.
literally was just sitting around doing nothing. So I was like, hey, I went and did it.
Yeah.
Now I'm here. I'm going to the second part of it. I'm going to the trade school in there. So that'll be fun.
So it's a pretty good spot then. It like kind of whips people who are like, I guess what's the word? Not lazy, but just like they don't have any direction. You feel like, or like what do you?
Yeah,
How
I
would you
would say
describe it?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say not having a direction, or just having too many directions, not really knowing which ones to choose.
Mm.
Because there's always a bad direction and a good direction. But even if you're down the bad path, you can also come back around.
Mm. Do you feel like you were kind of on a bad path?
I mean, yeah, I kind of was. Like, I was kind of there mostly during the summertime. I'd go do landscaping with my mama, and I'd make a little bit of money there. I just never really gotten into a job. I'd hang out with my friends, smoke weed,
Mm.
do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Do you feel like you have your you were saying your mama, is that like your grandma or your grandpa
yeah,
or
that's my mama. I
oh
mean
cool.
my grandma.
Your
Yeah,
grandma. Yeah.
it's southern.
Oh, cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
And I've never heard that before, mama. And so is that like are you really close to her or are you close to your parents?
Well, I'm not really close to my parents. I'm pretty close to her. I actually live with my other grandparents.
Oh,
So
cool. So
yeah,
you got like a pretty solid like loving foundation with them then, huh?
yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
good.
Could like I've talked to a few people on here who kind of have not known their parents or haven't had a great relationship with them. Like, would you feel comfortable talking a little bit about that and like how you feel like that's affected you in good and bad ways through your life?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Well, we can start with my dad. My dad passed away when I was 7. I mean, he was a pretty cool dude. He just was doing all the wrong things. He kind of OD'd, so
Oh shoot, dude,
yeah.
I'm sorry
He
about
was
that.
clean. Yeah, he was clean for 4 years, trying to get his life back, and then he just one day was like, did the same thing, and messed up.
Yeah, relapsed, I guess, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
And then my mom, she kind of, I don't know, she was hanging around with the wrong crew, our crowd. And then, I got 7 brothers.
Seven
So,
brothers. Wow, you got a big family. Do they all live with your grandparents or are they all out?
no, we're all split up between the family, though. A couple of them with my uncles and stuff. Actually, this is one of my little brothers. Come here. Say hi, Brayden.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm talking to your brother. He's a really cool dude.
He's making a YouTube video about it, Brayden.
Oh, that's nice.
You want to say anything about it?
No, I'm good.
You know you're
Yeah.
Cool. No pressure.
good? Yeah.
Wow.
He's 9 right now. He's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Awesome. I guess like third or fourth grade.
Hmm.
Cool. And so then your mom, did she just kind of like leave or is she still around or like what is that like?
So, I mean, for a few years of my life, so when I was 7, I lived with my grandparents. Like, I just moved in, not knowing anyone here. Literally been to 12 different schools before I ever came here. Before first grade, too.
Oh
So,
my God, dude. Wow. You've been like, was that like in the South and in Michigan or like?
oh, well, I never lived in the South. My mom was just, yeah, she
Oh, okay.
has relatives that were from the South. But, yeah, no, it's just all in here, all in Michigan. Usually in the bad parts of Michigan. But I mean, I feel like just me being me and being more independent because I never really had nobody there. Like my older brother, he was kind of there, yeah,
Oh,
but he didn't. He was kind of lost too because he never really had anyone to look up to. So
totally. Was he the oldest one then?
yeah, he's actually 19 right now.
Dude, that's tough. Like whenever you're like the oldest child and like all your other brothers and sisters are looking up to you, it's like, "Oh my gosh, like what do I do?" Like
Yeah,
that must be tough.
yeah, it's definitely tough on him. I mean, he told me that he's doing a little better, but I mean, you can't. You gotta just believe him sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, what else can you do,
Yeah.
you know? Dude,
I
wow, you
mean,
have
I
a
can't say I'm always doing the best. I just gotta try.
maybe we're human, you're
Yeah.
you're human, you're a human being and like, you know, I mean, like, depending on like the hand of cards that you're dealt, like you can only handle so much at a time, and as long as like you have a path that you feel like you're excited about and that's like wholesome for you and healthy for you and not toxic, then like what else can you do? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude, that's badass, man. You're really cool. You're a really cool guy. Like,
Thank you.
do you have for people out there who may be going through something similar? Like, what for you like really helped you to to get onto a path that you're like more proud of now than you were before?
Well, the way I looked at it, how I was telling you about people need to look more positive, right? Like there's always a positive to every negative. That's why the yin and yang kind of like happened. There was always that stronger and weaker, but basically what I would say is I mean, you don't have to be independent. Like if your parents are around, you just have to figure out a way to be able to like cope with them and being able to like talk with them. Because I know when I moved in with my grandma, me and her never really had a good like relationship on talking, but we loved each other. Like we love each other.
No.
It's pretty nice relationship. But I'm more, since I've had that over my life being independent, she doesn't really like that. So I'm kind of just in
Is
that
it?
little area.
Yeah, like with that, like, do you think she's like worried about you? Is it like a worrying? Is it like, how does it play out of like, how does it come out of her? Like,
Oh yeah, I would definitely say it's more of like a worry. She's like, he's getting older, but at the same time, she's like, the world's dangerous, but the world's always going to be dangerous. It's been dangerous since day one. So, I mean, you can't really do too much about protecting your kids. You can try,
that's tough,
but
right? Like, what do you do? Like, in a world, if you want your kids to know the world, like, they have to be out in it. But, like, I feel like there are some things that you can do to, like, I guess just always let your kids know that, like, you love them, right? Like,
mhm,
that you'll support them no matter what.
and that you're there to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Mm.
yeah, you definitely can't protect your kid off of everything. Like, I should know this. I've been through a lot. I've definitely been through a lot. I've been around a lot of guns, drugs, alcohol. Shoot, my one of my mom's friends even gave me alcohol when I was little. It was so messed up.
Jeez.
I've been through a lot, but like I said, like me just having my independence, I basically looked I was like, hey, I can make money wherever I want. So I was pretty much just like, shoot, I got that work ethic. I might as well
Yeah.
just put it on.
Yes.
So yeah, I've
Did,
been pretty much just vibing. Like like I told you over the summer, I usually work with my mama doing landscaping. I'll make like 16 an hour. It's not too bad.
no, not bad at all.
I actually bought my first four wheeler. I bought my Xbox. I bought my TV. I bought a lot of things that I have. Like I'm very thankful for my grandma. She buys me a lot of clothing. So there's
Wow.
definitely like there's my independence on certain things that I want to buy, which is more like the electronical kind of stuff, or like I bought some nice Timberlands before. I'm just kind of like I'm in that little groove where me and her get along. I have my little independence, and then she kind of like
Helps you. Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, that's like, that's great support, you know? And I think that, like, what you were saying too, that I want to just reiterate to people listening, that I think is also really important and foundational, but we take it for granted all the time, is you said just being there to listen.
yeah,
Like, it's the most simple thing in the world, but it's literally what I'm doing right now with this YouTube channel, with people all over the place. You know, there's something just so, I don't want to sound hokey, but like magical to it. There's something extra there with like just the willingness to want to connect and actually being there and asking and learning, like actually like listening and learning. And
yeah.
I just think it's like really important. Um,
hmm Yeah, I definitely feel what you're saying. Like, oh, hold up one second.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. My apologies.
No, you're
My
good, dude.
grandpa was talking about my dog, the little puppy I brought in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what was it? Oh yeah, I was talking about how like talking is pretty good. Like you were saying, like it kind of brings that magical energy out. Well, like if you think about it, like not too far back, there wasn't a lot of counseling. Like there wasn't a lot of counseling. There was a lot of people that just didn't have anybody. There was a lot of suicide. Like I know there's a lot of suicides nowadays, but like back then they just didn't have anyone to talk to. And it's like the males, you know how like males are supposed to be strong and like not have any weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Like it definitely changed over the years. I could definitely see it
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
there's a lot more feminine.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
even say it.
Feminine. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I think a big part of strength these days, and I think like the idea that you have to be strong and nothing can bother you. That's like a bend. You if you if like it's easier for you to break. I think as a person or just emotionally if you feel like you can't ever like decompress or like nowadays I think if you if anyone men or women or if you subscribe to a non-binary gender, like I think that if you allow yourself to be more vulnerable and you admit like things suck and like I'm sad or I'm angry or I'm grieving or something, like
Hmm.
that's actually more powerful because you're saying like I'm human. I'm a human being and
Yeah.
there's power to that. Whereas like 100 years ago, 200 years ago, that would be viewed as like being a pussy or you know, like being weak. And I don't think that that's true, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because like hearing other people's voices, it just like shows you a different perspective about the world.
Mm.
You get like if you really think about it, you learn more about the world and like everyone in it as soon as you start talking to more people. That's why like Omegle, like I know there's a couple bad things, you know, there's like a lot of
Yeah.
people
Yes.
doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of fapping. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean like just you can connect with people. It doesn't even have to be on like a personal level. It can just be on a basis level, like just anything. And it's really cool how like from then like how you were saying people were just hiding their emotions and stuff to now it's like there's a lot more gay people in the world. But there's nothing wrong with gay people.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with gay people. You want to live your life how you want to live it. That's all you.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think right now, like I think right now in our culture where I think a lot of people are very accepting of like gay, bisexual people, people who like other people of like the same gender and also who experiment. But I think where we are now that and I think we need to figure it out as a society is like people who like it can get complicated and it's like when people are transgender and they demand other people to call them by a certain pronoun. Like
mm,
I feel like there are two sides to that argument there. It's like, well, first of all, how are you asking other people to call you? Like if you're like, call me he, it's
mm,
like, wait a second, why are you being an asshole? you
yeah,
know? But like if the person is like, look, I may look like a woman, but like call me a man. Could you do that, please? Like I feel like
yeah,
there's a way to do it where you just aren't an asshole and you're also like communicating in a loving, respectful way. And I think we
yeah.
don't, as a society, we don't know how to do that yet, and we need to figure it out, or else we're fucked. You know?
Well, actually, like to bring it on top of that, just with all the like pressures and stuff, because like I know gayness has been around forever. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
been around for a
Yeah, since
long time.
ancient Greece. Yeah, I mean they were talking about that in ancient Greece.
But like what I kind of like think like how more of the like pansexual and stuff like that kind of came along. It was just like these kids or whatever, they didn't feel loved, so they wanted something else to love, you know, or even the same genders or even like, you know, different kind. It's an interesting fact. Like there's so much you could like think about it. Like I'm not I'm straight, right? So it's just kind of like I like meeting new people. I know a lot of gay people. They're actually really nice. Like not all gay people are mean. A lot of people think that gay people are just mean, straight up.
Really?
Yes.
Is that what you like? Did you not like gay people before and have come around to it? Like, what's been your journey with that?
Well, I mean, I would say probably like around 8th or 7th grade. I honestly didn't even know what gay was. I'm gonna be dead serious. Like, that's when people like in my school started becoming gay for each other, and I was like, hey, you do you, you know?
Hmm.
Like I'm not really that kind of person that wants to like tell people they gotta be this, they gotta be that, you know, you
Right.
gotta go to this kind of school, you gotta go to that kind of school, you gotta go to job on this time, you gotta go to job this time, you know.
Hmm.
I mean, shoot, some people just want to live their life without even working. That's up to them. Shoot, I mean, if they want to struggle, like there's nothing wrong with struggling because there's some people that struggle and then they'll make it out pretty quick because a lot of rappers they made it out pretty quick. It's just you gotta have the heart and the soul to be able to like push through all the negative because
Mm.
there is so much negative in this world. Like
Oh,
I know we can't get all the negative out because if there's not ever negative, then everything will just be boring in
yeah,
life.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and there'll never be a change because everything will just be so perfect. That's why we can't have a perfect world. Like it's so
Yeah. Well, there's a Buddhist. I don't know if you know any Buddhism, but the core tenets of it is that all life is suffering. Like that is the given. Another given to it is that things are always changing. Everything is
mhm,
always the only constant in life is change. And so if the only constant is change and all life is suffering, then there is a way to if one is present in the present moment, just like listening, right, which I think is the foundation of it. If you listen and are present in the given moment, in the now, then you will transcend suffering and find an alive peace in you. And that just makes you so excited about the present and so with it, and
yeah,
that's the kind of philosophy that Buddhism espouses. I don't know how I got there. Um, I think you were talking about. Oh yeah, talking about like if everything was great, then
yeah,
things would be boring. But like
yeah, like a Zootopia kind of thing.
yeah, a
Yeah,
utopia, totally, and
Utopia.
yeah, Zootopia is what is Zootopia? Isn't that
That's a
like a
movie.
yeah?
Yeah, that's an
That's a
animal
Disney
movie.
movie, right, dude? That's a good
Yeah,
movie. I
I
like
mean,
that movie.
shoot, it's basically the same thing. Like they
Yeah.
pretty much based that off of real life if you think about it. Like now that I'm older, I'll go back. I don't even care if I watch little kid movies. Like it's actually pretty interesting, right? But now that I go back and like really understand life more and you hear what they're talking about. Like they kind of like have hardships too. Like I know they're just anime characters, but like animation,
Yeah.
but like it's real people behind those. They're like voicing it. Like they have a whole script. And sometimes there's those movies where sometimes they'll have a little part where they can just say whatever they want. And I think that's really cool because like it kind of like it really brings out the character more or just like they're showing people like
Yeah. The
how
sincerity.
friendship,
Totally.
yeah,
Hmm.
friendships and all that can just like come out of anywhere.
Dude, movies are so good. Like like I love Pixar movies. Pixar movies are just so good. And like they reach families and little kids, but also like they're really deep, really smart. Like that's one of the
Hmm.
reasons I became an actor. Like I love storytelling. I love writing. And it's like what we do. I mean, we do that from day one. Is we like develop stories. Like our parents read us stories, and we develop stories about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like so cool hearing your story, but and like another thing too that I've been thinking about is like how there I'm sure there are parts of my life where I've like constructed a story about myself, but like certain events didn't even happen, or like or you know what I mean? Like I feel like as
Yeah.
time goes on, we think things happen to us, that maybe didn't actually happen, or I mean that it
Mm.
sounds insane, but it's like, for instance, like I was thinking, oh, like I think I was bullied in elementary school, but I don't think that anyone who was mean to me in elementary school actually thought that they were being mean to me. You know,
Hmm.
it wasn't like they were thinking, oh, I'm bullying Kenny right now. It's
Yeah.
like, no, it was just a misunderstanding that I think about as bullying. You know,
Hmm.
I don't know. That's kind of like a high concept, but it's I've been thinking about that lately. I don't know. But
No, yeah, I definitely feel what you mean. Um, cause when I was little, I was always like more heavyweight. Like now I'm like 188. So I'm not like too bad, but I'm not skinny. I got the like kind of dad bod. Like I definitely could work it off, but like I said, I still have that laziness in me, right? Like I can go to work, right? But do I really want to work out is the thing. Like, do I really have that discipline to go to the gym or to just do a whole bunch of sit ups, do a whole bunch of pull ups? No, it's just like I don't know. Like I said, like I don't judge other people, so why can they judge me? But like the thing is it brings me back to the whole positive and negative thing, like the internet, all the social medias, all the like fake,
fake.
just fakeness, very fakeness. All those those love TV shows that are so fake behind the
Dude, the
scenes.
Love Island, I hate that show. I hate it. Oh, it's like,
Like they really bring like girls down. I've talked to so many girls on here that have like cut themselves because they don't feel loved. And it's like, look, no, it's not that nobody loves you. It's just they see the wrong thing. They don't look on the inside. They always look at the outside. Like there's nothing wrong with the outside. It's all like even if you're broken on the inside, it's like people can just connect with you and build you back up. But sometimes girls like going for the bad dudes, and they tend to do a lot of bad things to them.
dumb. Yeah, people choose the love they think they deserve, you know? And
Mm,
it's rough whenever you see so many, and so many cool people who like feel bad about themselves or feel like they're pieces of shit, and then they gravitate towards people who treat them like shit, and it's just a downward spiral. It's like, dude, no, you're like you're beautiful. Like, don't why are you going to them?
yeah.
It's sad, but
Well,
it's not.
yeah.
It's also not up to us. We can only do so much. We can only be with a person and listen, and
Mm,
we can only do so
yeah.
much.
You can only change their mind as much as they want to listen. As much as they want to take in and actually feel that you are actually trying to be true to them. That's like the whole thing with social media. Like, so I was in that boot camp, right? And they had us actually watch a video on it, and it talked about how like they take all your personal information. They show you all your new friends and stuff. But like, if you have like notifications off, like some people you can turn your notifications off. They always seem to find a way to get you back on your phone. Like there's always a way oh, I got a text, like, oh, something's wrong with my settings. As soon as you go into your settings, oh, look at Snapchat. Oh, look at Instagram. Like they can pull you in. They have like the personal information of like just kind of your emotions. Like it's all there. Like there's a whole entire movie about it. It was a very interesting movie.
Is that the social? Not the social network, but the No, that's not what it's called. What was it called? Fuck. I think I may know the movie you're talking about, and I want to write it out here so that people could go see it. Damn it, I forget. But yeah, yeah, it's it's scary to me. But also too, like, there's only like the way to change the culture. I mean, it's such a big kind of behemoth to take on or to fight against. I feel like the way to do it is to really just Like, what can I do myself to not care about it or to just let it go? That way, you know, you don't need Instagram, you don't need Facebook, you don't need social media. And then if no one needs it, then it'll change for the better. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's such an abstract way to get to it. It's I'm
Yeah,
all zen about it.
it's definitely a big thing because like I said earlier, how we were talking about gay people and being able to open up more. Like, there's definitely a positive side to the internet and just being able to talk to all different, like even you,
Hmm.
me being able to talk to you, and you being able to like listen to what
Yeah,
I have to say.
yeah, and to be able to
Because,
share it with other people who want to listen. Like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So it definitely has a positive side,
Hmm.
but people tend to float towards the negative side because it feels better.
Yeah,
It makes them feel better.
it like engages them more. Like if things are like all nice and good, there's no drama. There's no like you get excited when there's drama.
Oh my gosh, that actually just reminded me because you remember Vine?
Hmm.
Yeah, when people would always like get hurt and stuff like that. Like, it was the negative, but it was funny. Like, it just
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like it
entertaining.
pulls you in.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. It's like this masochistic entertainment that's like, why am I laughing at this? Like, why is this so fun? Like, it should not be. It should not be. Yeah, totally. Man, dude,
Yeah.
this has been, I think I'm going to get running. I mean, I could talk to you. I don't even know how long this has been going on. It's like 40
Oh
minutes. Dude,
well.
that like, it flew by like that.
Yeah.
Um, but before we go, are there any kind of like final thoughts that you'd want to say to the people listening out there? Last important thoughts or points?
Shoot, I mean, just bringing it back to where how I kind of said I'm not really judgmental. Like, I know everyone has their flaws in judging people. Like, I definitely can't say I've never judged a person because I've been judged my entire life. So it's just like, might as well do it to somebody else.
Right, right. It's like so present in your life. Like, how could you not once or twice or yeah,
Yeah.
it seeps in.
So what I would have to say to people is just like, you don't always have to flow with the crowd. Like, me, I tend to like listen to a lot of different kind of music, country, classic, rock, rap, anything. Like, I can kind of I'm not really in a social group. I'm kind of just out there. Like, I can kind of just connect with anyone. So like, basically what I want to say is you don't have to stick to that one group of people. If they don't like your other friends, well, that's their fault. They're your friends. They don't have to
Yes.
be their friends. So pretty much what I want to say is like, go out there and make new friends. You get to learn new stuff. You really get to learn new stuff from different groups of people. It's definitely a very interesting and I think even more positive influence on you because you get to see the whole different story of other different people and how they grew up, rich, poor, you know, beaten, not beaten, having their family all together, not having their family all together, being adopted. You get their story.
Dude,
So
dude, awesome. Amazing. Great final thought, man. It was so awesome. And you know what's so cool too is like I feel like we really connected and like we don't even need to know each other's names. Like isn't that
yeah.
it's like badass, pretty badass. Like yeah, that we're more than our names. We're more than our labels. We're so much more
Mhm.
than that. So, thank you, dude. And if you haven't subscribed already, you can subscribe to building_bridges. I
Yeah.
will upload this entire video unedited,
All right.
and it'll be up there probably in like half an hour.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll actually go on to it once you skip. I'll go on onto my laptop and I'll go go ahead and subscribe.
Cool, dude. Building_bridges. All right, dude. Well, maybe I'll see you again.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Good luck
It
out
was a
there.
good
See ya.
talk.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Bye. I love this. What a cool dude. I mean, there are people who are out there who have such loving hearts and who are misunderstood and who really want to do the best for themselves and for others and their families, and like there's so much potential and hope for that guy, and that I didn't even know his name. Like that, I don't know. I don't know. But that you can have a connection like that, you know? That we are more than our names, we're more than our labels. If we see each other and listen to each other and try to understand where each other is coming from, then, I mean, how could we not accomplish everything that we've ever wanted? It makes me angry because there's so many people out there who judge just so quickly. And it really holds themselves back. It holds them back from being present and from like meeting a potentially new best friend or something. I just wish I don't really know like how else to help the culture move in that direction other than doing this, putting yourself out there and listening and asking questions, and yeah. Okay. 3:45. I need to get running, I think. I love this though. It's been so long since I've done all of these. One a day is great. I just like it a lot. Also, happy 1 year anniversary of the insurrection at the Capitol riot, where 7 people died, 3 cops. If we are going to be a thriving democracy, to be a thriving democracy, we are not that now. I mean, we function fine. I mean, not even. We're dysfunctional. I mean, we're not able to pass legislation unless it benefits the 1%. So to get back to a place of democracy, we really need to be able to at least respect each other enough to listen, So I think it's an important question to ask. How could I be more respectful, and how can I be a better listener? JFK said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And I think that the most basic thing that we can do for our country is to listen to one another. Let's do it. Love you guys.